we're back with some puzzles by James Sinclair, and we have James Sinclair. Welcome, James.
Hey, great to be here.
Before we get into the puzzles, we have some donations to catch up on. Absolutely Not Stark donated $5, and his message was more kachoku, please. We don't have any kachoku lined up, at least in this segment. I hope not. The next would be David Ratner, donated $50, and he said, for the entire community, much love and respect for everyone who makes this something special. Thank you so much, David, and thank you to Stark as well. Love you, David. Bremster also donated $100 and said, good luck with everything. Extra information, something I can feature on the channel to promote the convention. I think that's just a note for us. But anyways, let's get into Patchwork. Oh, and thank you so much, Bremster, for that $100 donation. We're like over halfway to the goal, so that's crazy because this is the first segment. All right, so we have Patchwork by James Sinclair, and James Sinclair here. I'll be solving. Hopefully you can see my cursor and everything. And this has normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits cannot repeat along the indicated diagonal. So if I had a 1 up here, I couldn't have a 1 down here. So basically be on the diagonal has to be the digits 1 through 9. And then cages show their sums, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. Digits can't repeat in the columns anyway, so that doesn't really matter, but the sum of the cages are shown in the top left, so this would have to be 3 and 4, or 3 and 1 to add to 4, for example. How hard is this, James? Because I don't have a...
Well, I think I'd give it a 3 out of 10 on my scale, which it translates to like 1 star out of 5.
Okay, gotcha.
That'd be very difficult.
So talk about artisanal Sudoku a little bit. What is that?
Yeah, so it's a newsletter that I put out every week. 5 puzzles every week. I try to keep them pretty approachable. And this is an example of kind of the easier end, and then the tougher ones get to maybe 2 out of 5 on the LMD scale, maybe 2.5.
Mm-hmm. So we can fill in some things here. The 4 cage, the 3 cage, the 6 cage can't be 1-5 because it sees this 1-3 pair, and this 10 cage now has to be odd, so 1-9 or 7-3. Which sort of interacts with this 15 cage, but not quite enough. I noticed that on the diagonal we have 4 cells in 15 cages, and 15 can only be made with 6, 9, or 7, 8, with the digits 1 to 9. So those digits have to be 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that's a quadruple on the diagonal. So the rest has to be from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but these can't be 1 or 3, and this one can't be 2 or 4. So that is a 5, which we can get rid of all the other 5s on the diagonal. And oh, these also can't be 1 or 2, so these have to be 1 and 2, and this one can't be 1. So that's a 2, that's a 1. That gets rid of the 1 from that cage. And what else can we do here? We can look at this 9, which cannot have 1, 2, 3, or 4 in it. So it has to be the higher number of the 2. We can also look at this box. Oh, no, we can't. I was going to say, where does 1 go? And it is actually in 3 places, but, 4 places. Whoops. A little bit of out of practice with Sudoku.
Well, I guess I can chime in because it's been a while since I even really looked at this one. But in column 4 and 6, the 14 and 15 gauges, the 14 gauges each have to be 5, 9, because otherwise that would eliminate both possibilities for the 15 gauges.
Right, because if it was a 6, 8, then both 6, 9 and 7, 8 couldn't be possible. So we have the 5, 9 there, which gives us a 7, 8 pair here.
Yeah, because I like to use 2-cell killer cages, and so I kind of wind up using tricks like that a lot. Maybe too much.
Yeah, for sure. So then we can fill in the 5 and the 9 from this 5, which we got before, and this can't be a 6 because that would put a 9 here. So we can actually just do that if we want. And we can do the exact same thing, right? You said in column 6, which I completely ignored for some reason. So this has to be 5 and 9. And again, we get the 7, 8 pair in that column. And these two 7, 8s on the diagonal give us a 6, 9 pair on the diagonal. And we can fill in the 15 cages there. So we have quite a bit of information about both box 3 and box 7 now. What did I just get rid of? 6. So that's 3. And then this can't be a 4, so it has to be a 7. Yeah, I think so. Because we can't have 5, 1, 3, or 2, or 6. Yeah. Sorry, what was that, James?
Just confirming, because that leaves 4 and 8 in the box, and obviously those can't go in an 8 cage.
Right, right. Of course, yes. That is a good way to describe that. And we can also see, I was going to say something that's completely wrong, but we can see that there's an 8 over here, so that's a 4 and that's an 8. Now I bet we can get a handle on this 12 cage, which now sees 7 and 8. So it can't be 5, 7, it can't be 4, 8, and it can't be double 6. So it's going to have to be 3 and 9. So then the 9 in this box has to go right here because both these pointing pairs are looking into the box. And I'm also not looking at chat right now. So
yeah.
If there's anything in there.
So Glumhoho is complimenting my hat, which is in fact a headband, because I'm growing my hair long for the first time ever and trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a very nice headband for sure. I like your hair too.
Thank you.
So this can't be 1, 2, or sorry, 1, 9, or 2, 8. So it has to be 3, 7, or 4, 6, but that can't be a 7. I feel like there's more we could do with that, but I don't see how. I guess we can say that there's a virtual 3, 4 pair here, but that feels a bit much. Oh, this can't be it can't be a 1, 4 because it's a 6 cage and not a 5 cage.
So yeah, you've got 5s in rows 2 and 3. So that's, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So this has to be a 2 and 4. Yes, of course. Which gives us a lot of information about everything in box number 7. Now we get that this is a 3 and 7. Did not mean to get rid of the 3. And then we get the 3, 7 over here, and a 9 and a 3 over here. And this is definitely starting to collapse into a very nice flow. So we have 7, which goes there, and a 5. We can also see on the diagonal, this 6, 9 is resolved now. And this cage now can't be 3, 9 because of both of those, and it can't be 5, 7, so it has to be 4 and 8, which is not resolved yet. Anything else you notice there, James?
Yeah, you can place an 8 in box 6. 4.
Yeah, for sure, right there, which is going to resolve that 4, 8 there. And
Yeah.
What are these? 5 and 6. I guess we could look at this column, which is 6, 5, and 6, 5, and 9. I was like, what? What is the number we are missing? And this row only needs 5, 6, and 2, I think. Apparently I'm not looking in the right places. 2 is placed in this box. Were you about to say the same thing?
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I've didn't necessarily want this segment to be an infomercial for my newsletter, but I mean, I did kind of try to pick out representative puzzles, and I think that this is kind of an example of what I mean, yeah, they're not always this nice, but yeah, this is kind of what I go for the easier ones.
Are you planning to attend SudokuCon?
Yeah, I'd like to.
There we go. That's an advertisement for SudokuCon. Meet James Sinclair.
Yeah, I live in North Florida. I don't get out of here a ton, but I think it'll be worth the trip.
Yeah, I hope to be there as well. So, second advertisement for SudokuCon. What else is chat saying? Yeah, this is definitely supposed to be an easier puzzle, but I am slow because I have not had very much practice with Sudoku lately. So we have 8s in this box, looking in and placing an 8 right there. And an 8, oh, the 8's already in that box, of course. About 7 in this column is placed now, which gives us an 8 at the bottom, gives us an 8 there.
So you place 3 in row 6, column 6, and then at the bottom of column 4.
Right, okay, yeah. And at the bottom of column 4, because of this 3 and these 2. And then what else do we have? What about this box? We have 4s and 6s and something else, 1s. Well, that's not super productive. I don't see anything there. This column, sort of the same story, I guess. Oh, 6 is actually placed in this column, isn't it? Those both see 6s, so that's a 6, which gives us a lot of things, thankfully. We're rewarded for our spots. What is that? I don't know why there's a little animation showing up. Again, out of practice with the software. Obviously something is happening that I should know about, but I don't.
Spin's been doing a lot of work just the last few weeks. I don't.
Right. 3, nope. Oh, what is this? That should be given. It's a 9. And then we have 3 and 7 over there. Oh, I see. It's telling me to look at this square.
Oh.
Wow. I was bamboozled, thinking, what is this animation? But it's helping me. All right. What about 1 and 6 in there, and then 2s and 1s, and then a 2 should go in there. And we need something in this box, a 5. I feel like we could have placed that earlier, but it's negligent of it. 1 up here, 1 and 3, 3 and 7. Oh. 2 and finally 6. Very, very beautiful puzzle, James.
Thank you.
Even if you didn't mean for it to be an advertisement for artisanal Sudoku, it certainly comes off that way.
Yeah, I will say, because I set a lot of puzzles. I publish 5 or 6 a week, and so I often kind of try to set one like this as kind of a warm up. You know, if I have a day where I'm going to be able to really spend some time, I'll start out with kind of a fairly straightforward killer Sudoku, and then maybe come up with a decent puzzle out of that, but then in the process, I might have some ideas for something a little bit more intricate.
Right. That's a good question from Fullback in the Discord. Are we putting the link to the puzzle in chat, or are these paid puzzles that we shouldn't put in chat? Oh, okay. They already put the puzzle in the chat.
Yeah, I think many of these are behind the paywall now because I moved them behind the paywall after about a month, but I'm fine with sharing these. It's no problem.
Okay. Producer, do we want to go to the next puzzle? Okay. I wasn't sure. There's new technology from Sven. Amazing technology.
It updated for me. I didn't even have to click anything. Just kind of changed on the
tab. So we have a fog puzzle here, which I'm guessing is a little bit trickier.
Yeah, I think I'd call this
out. Yeah.
I think I'd call this one 1.5 stars out of 5.
Sorry, how many stars?
1.5.
Oh, 1.5 out of 5 or 10?
Out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have normal Sudoku rules. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I do my scale out of 10 because if I didn't, they'd all be 1 or 2. So I just want to kind of give myself a little bit more breathing room.
Do you want to read the rules, actually?
They're not up on my screen, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll read the rules then. Normal Sudoku rules apply. It says, correctly place digits, clear the fog around them. So if I put a correct digit in here, then around it, the fog will be cleared. So there's other clues under the fog. Cages show their sums in the leftmost cell at the highest row reached by the cage. So it's just saying the exact same thing as before, but just giving some extra information so that we know how the cage sort of looks. The digit will be, or the clue will be at the top left. So it's the same as the other killer cages that we saw in the previous puzzle. Digits on arrows sum to the single digit number in the connected circle and can repeat if allowed by other rules. So you can't see a full arrow here, but imagine this is a circle and this arrow concludes over here, then this digit would be the same as the sum of these 3 digits. And can repeat if allowed by other rules. That just means like if this arrow did this, which it clearly doesn't, but just imagine it did, or maybe this, then this digit could repeat in this cell. They could be the same. It's not disallowed like cages are disallowed from repeating. So the first thing that I notice, and I'm sure James has put this in very very intentionally, is that this 10 cage is 3 cells currently, and it is getting a 4th cell here because it's not dotted on the bottom here. So these 4 cells sum to 10, and therefore they have to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the minimum sum of 4 digits, and those add up to 10. 30, we're not sure because it probably has to be more than 2 cells, but we're not sure how many cells it is. Actually, that's not true because this is in the top leftmost cells. So if the 30 came over here and did this, then the clue would be up here. So in fact, the 30 we know is 4 cells because if the 30 was only 3 cells, 7, 8, and 9 only sum to 24, and 24 plus 6, well, that's 30. So actually, that's the maximum that 4 cells can sum to. So we have the minimum that 4 cells can sum to and the maximum that 4 cells can sum to. And it's telling me that I should look at this cell because apparently that's an important cell that will give me the rest of the information. And yes, of course, if we look here, these 3 digits, at least these 3 digits sum to a single digit number. So imagine, or sorry, wait, no, that's not going to be necessarily given. I mean, these could be 2, 3, 4 or whatnot. For some reason, I thought they had to be 6. add to 6, but no, that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do the highlight a cell thing, but there's a different one that I would point to.
Different one that you would point to. Well, in fact, we don't know if...
There we go.
So we have a naked single because 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, both pointing here. And I'm sure the chat has been screaming about this. Yeah, okay. And then we get some extra information, which will be very useful in figuring out the rest of the puzzle, I'm sure. So we have a 5 in an 18 cage that is only 3 cells, and this digit can't be 6, 7, 8, 9, or 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, and this cell is similarly limited by this column. And I guess we can fill in these two if we want.
You know what? I'm not going to be able to be very helpful here, I'm realizing, because I guess we'll have to let Ben know, but the fog is not clearing on my screen.
Oh, no.
I'm seeing the digits you're putting in, but the fog isn't clearing.
Such technical difficulties with this new technology. But I guess we'll have to... I'll tell you what's going on. So there's a 18 cage in these 3 cells. And there's really an arrow line here with a killer cage that's dotted around it going this way. But it doesn't have a total yet. So we have an 18 cage, 18 and 3 cells. Let's try minimums first. Well, the minimum these 3 cells could add to would be 11 plus 1 is 12. The maximum would be 14 plus 4 is 18. So, of course, we have to go with the maximum because we can't go any higher than that. So we get the 4 and the 9. And I don't know why I start with the minimum when that was not the right one to start with. Sequential order, you know. So we have a 3-cell arrow here with a 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 6, 7, or 8 on it. So 6, 7, or 8 plus 2 digits, well, that's not going to be equal to a single digit number unless we have 6 with a 1 and 2, which adds to 9. So this is 9. This is a 1-2 pair, which actually both of them see this cell. This one is in the same box, and this one is in the same row. So these see that cell, which means that it must be a 3. Otherwise, if it was a 1 or 2, then it would rule out 1 and 2 from there. And, oh wait, I just realized that I completely discounted the case of 7, 1, 1. But they're in a killer cage together, so that actually couldn't be the case. But I totally discounted that without talking about it, so I should mention that I didn't even realize that until just now.
It all sounded familiar. I remember there had to be a reason why those digits were different.
All right, so now we have a 7 or 8 arrow somewhere here, and we have a 4-cell arrow here, which sums to this digit. Now, 4 cells, even if we have 1 repeat, well, 1, 2, 3 sum to 6, so 1, 2, 3 plus 1 would be 7. So the minimum that this cell could be is 7. So we have 7 or 8 here. So we get a 7, 8 pair. Where does this 7, 8 go in this box? Well, it has to go somewhere, and it can't go in this column, and these are not 7 or 8, so that is a 7 or 8. What else do we know? I guess we could do some coloring if we really want to. These 2 cells are the same. Wait, no. Yes, they are. These 3 cells are all the same 7 or 8 because this one is obviously that one. We just saw that, and then these have to put the 7 or 8 there. And also it's different from this in the column, so. And this 7 or 8 has to be on this side, but I guess it can't be here, but it could be in either of those 2 cells, so I'm not going to mark that just yet. Guess we could color these 2 the same, and we can mark that this has to be from 7, 8, and 1 or 2, I suppose, if we really want to. this 7 or 8 arrow can't have a 4 on it, at least in these 2 cells. I don't know. Well, at least in these 3 cells. If it was 3 cells that sum to 7 or 8 plus these 2 cells, that would be too many cells that sum to this small a number, because 5 cells sum to 5. Oh, wait. 5 cells sum to 15. So actually that would work, wouldn't it? Or would it work? Because the only way we're making, because you can't do 1, 2, 4 here. So we would have to do 1, 2, 5. That doesn't work anyway. So you can't add to 7 or 8 in these 3 cells. So this can't go all the way up there for sure. I don't know if that really tells us anything.
I don't know if you saw it. I just had my cat in my lap for a few seconds. His name is the Bandit.
Oh, I did not see, but I regret not seeing. The Bandit? That's a really cute name.
Yeah, we adopted him not too long after Burt Reynolds died, so sort of an homage.
Oh, I see something. And now I wish I had colored this. So this 7 or 8 goes in one of these 2 cells. But I didn't notice, because it can't go here, because then this would sum to too much. I didn't notice that the 9 is also forced up here and also cannot go on this cell. So this is a 7, 8, and 9 pair, I suppose. I guess this is a 7, 8, 9 triple. We don't really have to color that, but just for the purposes of showing that this digit goes in one of these 2 cells, I did that. So then we can also, can't quite narrow down where the 5s and other digits go. I guess there has to be a 6 in this box, which is kind of interesting because there are a lot of digits on arrows in this box. Not that interesting, though. Yes, thank you, Mark Tech Fan, for your donation. Did you have a message? Let's see. Mark Tech Fan says, as a mediocre puzzler, I love to contribute to the community with technical tools, building on the shoulders of giants. That's so nice. Really appreciate the donation, Mark, and the lovely message. Also, I missed a $50 donation by the Cogito, and his message was was heart. I was gonna say less than 3, but I decided not to. Oh, and his incentive was Puzzle Roast. So if you guys don't know, there's a few incentives that you can donate for. And one of them is Puzzle Roast. So Naverio and Kodak, I believe, are going to roast their own puzzles at some point later. So that's the donation for that segment.
You know, I think that was my idea. I think I might have just tossed that out on Discord, and I did not know that we were doing it. That's great.
That's a great idea. I hope I get to see that part if it ends up happening. If you guys donate enough, looks like we're 100 out of 350 to the puzzle roast. Okay, so this puzzle, we need to solve it at some point. So I need to make some progress here, and you can't even see through the fog.
I've got the solution on my laptop somewhere, and just pull it up.
So we have a minimum of 6 here. So this is either 1 or 2. So then we have 1, 2 pair in this column. Interesting. So we can write in here 5, 6, 3, I guess. Yeah, because we have the 7, 8, 9 triple as well. So then this is not 3, so there is a 3 up here. And this is 1, 2, or 4. If we had 3 and 4 on here, then it would add to too much. So what does that mean? Does that mean this means that this has to be a 3 or 4, doesn't it? Yeah. Because we can't have 3 and 4 on here. We need to have a 1 and a 2 on here. What else does that mean? I guess that means that 5 and 6 are over here. Sorry, go ahead.
So I don't know what kind of wizardry allowed this, but I actually can. The fog has been cleared.
Oh wow!
So I can see that. Yeah, row 6, columns 2 has to be 8 because that arrow has to be at least 2 cells, and so the minimum is going to be 3 and 5.
Good spot. Which means that we need minimums here.
Yeah.
And this is all just regular Sudoku that we're doing. Just clearing the mist, clearing the fog. Okay, so we have a 19 cage with 4 cells, and it has a 1 and a 2 in it already. So it's basically a 16 cage and 2 cells. Well, a 16 cage and 2 cells only has 1 solution, 7 and 9, which we can actually fill in. So this is an interesting arrow. If this arrow was, I guess, if this arrow was like just 2 cells, so if this arrow was duplicating itself here, then it would have to be the 6 or the 8 up here because the 7 is already in the box and the 9 is already in the box. But if it continues, if it goes like there, if this digit is these 2 digits summed together, then this can't be 9. So either way, this can't be 9. I don't know how useful that deduction was, but oh, 14 and 2 cells. Can't be 5, 9, so it must be 6, 8 then. That's an 8 on an arrow, so this is obviously 8 and 1, leading to a 9. What else can we glean from that? Well, this can't be a 1 then, so this has to be the 1. Oh, this is minimized, so there's no 4 in it, which I'm sure everyone saw a little while ago while I was doing other things. 2, 5, and 6 up here. This is an interesting 45 gauge. Eight can't be, oh, in those cells. Oh, and it can't be there either. Sorry, go ahead.
One thing that's fun about fog puzzles is that my instinct is kind of just to be a little bit chaotic. Just sort of throw clues in that seem weird or whatever, and I've kind of learned that maybe you don't want to always do that. Aesthetics are important, but with fog puzzles, you kind of can be chaotic because it's just you're letting people find stuff under the fog.
For sure, yeah. So, anyways, as I was saying, I don't want to lose my train of thought. But that's a great point for sure with fog puzzles. They're definitely. Certainly a good setting innovation of light. This can't be an 8 because then that would put a 1 here, so 8 can't go in any of these cells because of these 2 8s and this 1. So that has to be the 8 because the 45 is all the digits from 1 to 9, and we can't repeat digits, so the 8 has to find a home in that weirdly shaped box. What? What is interesting about the 1? I don't know. The 9 feel like the 9 has something to give, but I can't really see what it is. I guess has to be a 6 down here. The only places 6 can go in this box are these two places, so that can't be a 6.
Oh, and one in row 6.
Oh, 1 in row 6 also goes with the 6, right? Oh, wait, what?
No, it has to be in column 9 because it's outside the cage.
Oh, yes, thank you. It's already in the cage, yes. I was like, wait, what? Why is it red? Thank you. That's a very apt observation. So I guess these 2 digits have to be in here. Row 4. Oh, did that not come through? In row 8. Is it good now? Apparently you guys couldn't see these 2 digits. So now I think we're back on track. All right. Where does this 3 or 5 go in this cage? I guess in one of these 2 cells. So that's probably not the place to look. 2 goes in one of these 3 cells, which is kind of interesting. Because in this box, actually 2 is quite restricted because now it can't go here because then they would have no place to go in this cage.
So I guess another way to look at it, like row 5, column 5 can't be 2 or 7, and there has to be a 2 and 7 in the cage, and so they can't both be in the other cell that's not on an arrow. So they have to be on an arrow, and it has to be the one that's horizontal, if that makes sense.
Right, okay. Because they have to be together.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So then that gives us the 6, which eliminates a candidate there. Then we can't do 3 and 6 anymore, so this is going to be 4 and 5.
And we put 3 in the center cell to finish the cage.
Right, to finish the cage, of course. Duh. So then we have either 2 or 7 here or 4 or 5 there, because it has to match these outside ones. So we can get rid of some of the candidates from those. We can mark up these 2, which is 2 and 4, which then places the 7 outside the box here, which means that this has to be the 7. These 2 digits, of course, the same. Oh, this is now a 6, which then reveals that we have... That's weird that it's not red here. Did I do the thing again where you guys can't see it? So this is either a 1 or a 3, and it's not a 1, so that must be a 3. So that's a 9. I almost said 7. This is 4, 5, and 6. So that's a 6. This is a 4, 5 pair. What's over here? This is 3, 9, and something. 5.
Just by the way, I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat for at least a little bit if anybody has any questions for me.
MicroStudy asked you, when are we getting a dartboard-inspired artisanal Sudoku?
Have I not done that? I feel like I have. I'll try to figure that out.
You can fill in this 7 gauge.
Asks, how do I sign up for your weekly newsletter? Artisanal Sudoku. Artisanal is spelled with 3 A's. You do a Google search, go to artisanalsudoku.com or artisanalsudoku.substack.com. Those are all ways to get there. And by the way, when you go to it, Substack tries to get you to sign up. There's a way to just click through and check it out without signing up.
Good stuff. Oh, I should have noticed what we got from the 7 gauge, the 8 and the 1, which then allows us to place the 8 in this box. And this is a 5 and a 3, which is given by this 5 pair and this 3, of course, which then gives us a 9 and a 3-5 pair.
So you got 2 8s in box 9. I think one of them should be a 9. The one in the arrow circle.
I don't have 2 8s in box 9 on my screen, but
well.
let me try to change it.
If it looks fine on your screen, then don't worry about it. I'm sure it's.
I mean, I think it. I wonder if did that update now?
Yeah, it did.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
I should also add, it's not just me making the puzzles. As of a few weeks ago, I started accepting submissions. I've already published a few by other setters, which are really cool puzzles, and I'm just really excited to have the chance to give other setters some money for one thing, but also the exposure and to really bring some really cool puzzles to the world. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me on Discord.
That's really cool.
Mark TechFan asks if there's any reason why my puzzles don't have givens. It's just because I don't like them. I feel like it's kind of a branding thing at this point. I've published a few on Logic Masters Deutschland with givens, but yeah, I kind of prefer. Aesthetically, I don't really like them, so I try to set puzzles without them.
Aesthetics. So we got some balls rolling while we were answering questions there, and now we have a 22 in 3 cells. So that's relatively high, but not super high. I guess we have no 8 or 9 or 8 or 7 here. I guess we can fill in what we do have. Oh, well, that answers one question. Where's the 5 go? And then we need 9 and 6. Oh, which is also answered. Okay. Well, thanks, Ben. So then we have 22, but we already have the 14. So we only need another 8. So we can finish off the grid here. And another beautiful puzzle. Yeah, fog is very cool as a variant.
Yeah, and I mean, this is an obvious thing to say, but fog puzzles are popular. I mean, I try to put one out at least once a month because they tend to get the most attention.
For sure, yeah. I mean, they're just very fun to do, and I can understand why they are popular. I mean, as soon as I saw a fog puzzle on CTC, I was like, oh, I need to set that. That's something I need to set right now. click on tick. It's ticked. All right. Should we maybe take a little break, transition to the next segment, where I think we're going to be talking more with some students?
It's fine with me, and it's been great being here.
I mean, maybe you can join us, but we'll just see. We'll have to discuss in the in the tech. But if this is it, thank you, James, so much for joining us, and thanks everyone.